Okay, so thanks for joining me to help you prepare for your test coming up on Thursday. Remember, there are two videos over the quiz that we took that you should watch in addition. This video and the next video will only include problems from sections 2, 4, and 2.5, which are the new sections for the test. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 problems I'd like to do, and I'll do them in two videos. Okay. So we'll start with a word problem. Okay. So this will be problem number 1. In this word problem, I'll speak more than I write. So you and your friend are driving together, okay? You and friend are driving together. Okay, the total trip is 300 miles. So it's a 300-mile trip. You leave at noon. And your friend starts by driving, and your friend drives 3 hours at a speed of 52 miles per hour. Okay, and the question is, if you want to get there by 6, to arrive by 6 o'clock p.m., how fast must you drive? How fast must you drive? Okay, so in this problem, x is your rate, okay, your speed. All right. So this is going to be what's called a combined rate problem. You're going to take the rate and time. Well, first of all, we're going to use this distance equals rate times time. But there's two rates and times. There's your friend's rate, and then there's your rate and time. Okay? So the total distance is 300 miles. That's what you have to drive together. Now, your first friend, your friend, drives at a speed of 52 miles per hour for 3 hours. So 52 miles per hour times 3 hours. So that's your friend. And then you are going to drive at some speed, okay? And you need to make it by 6 o'clock. Well, if you left at noon and your friend drives 3 hours, then it's 3 p.m. So for you to get there by 6, if you take over at 3 p.m. to get there by 6 p.m., you drive for 3 hours as well. But we don't know your speed, so that's x. And now we find what x is. First thing we need to do is multiply 52 and 3. So we'll get 300 equals, this is 156. And now we solve by subtracting 156 from both sides. 144 equals 3x, and then divide by 3. And we get x equals 48. And that is your speed that you need to drive, 48 miles per hour, for you guys to get there by 6 p.m. Okay? All right, next problem. Graphing problem. All right? We just want to graph the line 3x minus 2y equals 10. Okay. The first way we're going to do it is by finding the intercepts. Okay, so first way, intercepts. To find the intercepts, we're going to plug in zeros for our variables, one at a time. So if we're looking for the x-intercept, the x-intercept is on the x-axis, where y is 0. So we plug 0 in for y. So we do that in the equation. 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 10. This minus 2 times 0 is just minus 0, and it goes away. So we bring down the 3x equals 10, and we divide by 3. Now this is 10/3, which you could estimate as 3.3. Okay, and that's okay to put there. 3.3. I'll live with that, because that'll give you a nice number to put on the graph. You don't want to think 10/3 is a slope. It's a number. Okay, it's where the point is at 3.3 or 3.3. 0. Now let's find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we let x be 0. Alright, so this time in our equation we let x be 0, and y is now just y. So the 3 times 0 is 0, that goes away. We bring down negative 2y equals 10, and we divide by negative 2. And we get y is negative 5. So these are the 2 points we need to put on our graph. Okay, so over here, I'll try to draw a graph as best I can. There's my y, there's my x. Let's go 5 in every direction. Okay, so the x is 3.3. 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. There's the x-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Connect those with a straight line, and we will graph or plot the points. And there you go. So there's your graph done by the intercepts, finding the x and y intercepts. Now let's use the same equation, but let's find it by putting it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so this is the second way. So our equation was 3x minus 2y equals 10. We want to make this become slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. First thing I would do is I would subtract the 3x from both sides. Negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 10. And then we'll divide by negative 2. And when you divide by negative 2, there's two things that need to be divided by negative 2. Two things. The negative 3x and the 10. So we get y equals, negative over negative cancels. And 3/2, it's our slope. So leave it as a fraction. If it can simplify, simplify it, but it can't. So you get 3/2. The negatives cancel. 3/2 x. And then 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So here's our slope-intercept form equation. This is what we wanted. Now we have to identify two things. First is the y-intercept. The y-intercept comes as 0, b. Well, in our problem, the b is negative 5. 0, negative 5. There's our y-intercept. The slope is the number in front of x. Here it's 3/2. 3/2 means up 3, rise over run, and to the right 2. So that's how we're going to graph the slope, or plot, count the slope. So on my graph, there's my y, there's my x and y. Again, go 5 in each direction. I need to work on my graphing skills here on this program. 0, negative 5 is the y-intercept. Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we count up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2, 1, 2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2, 1, 2. And here's our second point. And that's what we connect with a line. Now we need to plot these, or not plot, label these points. This is 0, negative 4, or negative 5. It is your y-intercept. This point we need to find by counting from the origin. We go x first, which is left or right, and then y second. So to get here, we would go 1, 2 to the right, that's positive 2, and 1, 2 down, that's negative 2 for the y. And there's your graph. And if you see your two graphs, here's my first one, there's my second one, exactly the same. Right? Y-intercepts are exactly the same, right? 0, negative 5. And if you look at the second graph, right here, this looks like 3.3, which is the x-intercept in the graph above. Okay? Alright, so there's these two problems. Please look forward to the next video where we'll do 2 more.